Black-eyed peas and collard greens in the African American community to eat on New Year's Day is supposed to go for good luck. I don't care what state they live in, or if they're here in Chicago, they'll say, I said, can you get together, can we play cards tonight? Or, well, I got to cook my collard greens and my black-eyed peas and then I'll be over. Or we'll have it as our meal, you know, for the gathering, you know. So it's a tradition that has lasted throughout our family in the African American community. That's the beginning of the new year, and we want all kinds of good luck, so that's supposed to be our good luck ticket.
Alana Ron Karenga, who believed that we needed to celebrate family, community, as well as our life. And we should do that by not just imitating the status quo or the establishment, but we should, one, create our own experiences in doing so. And he created what he felt a moment in time that we will celebrate the 7 principles of our community. And he called it Kwanzaa, which was in Swahili translated into first fruits. And now that Kwanzaa is not just celebrated by African Americans, but is celebrated by other nationalities and nationalistic groups as well, in conjunction with our community. On the last day when we celebrate Imani, the Day of Faith, everyone is welcome to that festival of hope and promise, and many other cultures that said celebrate with us.
I have a mentoring group at several high schools, and I take them somewhere every year. And I read this book called Warriors Don't Cry. It's one of the Little Rock Nine, Melba Patilla Beals, who wrote this book and was one of the Little Rock Nine, and talked about her experience. So as a result, they have a statutes. They have statutes of the Little Rock Nine on display in Little Rock. So I intend to take my mentees there and let them see the statue. And really, the book is so interesting that it really shows how desperate, or I won't say desperate, but how important education was and is, and the fact that these 9 students would make sacrifices every day of their safety for a quality education.
The Black church is where I got my inspiration to live better, to try and help more people, and try to make my life mean something, not only for myself, but for my family.
Religion plays a huge role in African American tradition and history, and when you talk about religion, you can't help but start back as like when you talk about slavery and the civil rights movement, and how African Americans heavily leaned on religion as a faith-based mechanism to persevere, to keep going, to never quit, to have a higher calling to say, we can get through this. And they leaned on each other for strength, but they used religion as that background for that mental fortitude to be strong for each other, to be confident that one day things were going to change.
If we only focus on what's happening or what has happened to us in the past, we lose sight of our future or what it could be. So I believe that the faith that has been built in the Black church empowers the entire nation, because when people are speaking of their faith and when people are carrying out their faith ideas, other people can feel it, and it also increases their faith as well.
The Ebony Fashion Fair started in the late 1950s and continued on for over 50 years. The proud CEO and owners of Ebony and Jet, Mrs. Eunice and John Johnson, allowed Black models to wear fashionable designs by European designers and display them yearly in their famous fashion show. The only fashion show that allowed African American models to display fashion from all over the country. Personally, it meant that my mom and my sisters and I, that we could be models if we wanted. We can rule the world, we can look fashionable. It was a delight to be able to watch African American women that looked like my mom to me and that favor my aunts to me be able to rip the runway, as they say.
My daughter goes to an amazing school in the city of Chicago called the Chicago Multicultural Dance Center. It was started in 1990 by an amazingly talented man named Homer Bryant, who really took to heart his message that every child deserves a chance to dance. And when you give children, through the study of dance, the discipline and the focus they need to really become masters of a craft, you're also training much stronger, much better human beings across the world. These students are so driven and so talented that it's really an amazing thing to watch. Who we are in this country, from the laying of the first bricks of the White House to our influence, African Americans' influence on art and culture and history and what we export around the world, is really something to celebrate, not just in February, but every month of the year.